Melanie, Joey Fingers beat you to the punch tonight. Joey got the first message in. How y'all doing, man? I told y'all I was gonna be back, but a little bit later than expected. Hey, can you guys hear me okay? Please let me know you can hear me all right. I gotta let my camera charge, but if the volume starts messing up, all right, cool. Yeah, man. I just got through. I just got through making some wing dings, man. Some really good ones. I didn't film it tonight because I was just trying to hurry up and cook them. But man, I made a 30 piece. It was like 32 pieces, but sheesh, they came out good. I'm hoping I catch Jay Biggs tonight, man. Jay Biggs said that he was starting a channel himself. I hope it's going well out there in New Zealand for him. This the time Jay Biggs is up. That's why I wanted to wait till around 1. Godfather, man, it has been a while, man. Thank you for stopping in, sir, man. It's always a pleasure to see a familiar name. I don't know what none of y'all look like for real, but I know the names. Godfather, that's a name I won't forget. Definitely not. I was just telling my people how I just finished cooking a 32 piece uh little buffalo wings, like Wingstop type shit, man. You know, I used some of my the stuff I'm always talking about, man. I put a little marinade together. Melanie is from Toronto, Canada. She's up there in Canada, way north. She says she's about 7 hours away from me, man. I was like, dang, Melanie. I wish you were closer. As a matter of fact, I need to take my ass up to Canada. Are you the guy? Yeah, but I can't even, hey, don't trip though, Godfather, because I figured out how to look at the chats after the video is over. And whoever's in the chat, once you leave a message, I can always go back and I can pull up the chat, and when I click on any person who commented, it lets me check their channel out. So I'll be able to blow the picture up, because it won't let me blow it up right now. It won't even let me see your channel at all. I got a magnifying glass over there, but I ain't about to bust out with the Inspector Gadget. Man, my herniated disc has been giving me a lot of problems lately, man. Yeah, man. I got a video acting like it's trying to trend on. It's the most views I ever received before, man. I'm at 76 views, bro. When I lived in Anchorage, Alaska, I used to drive through the. Damn, you used to live in Alaska, Joey? I had an uncle that used to live in Alaska, man. He had supposedly, this is what I was told when I was a youngin', man. My uncle that lived up in Alaska used to own a boat repair shop up there in Alaska. He used to repair boats that got damaged out on that ocean. Yeah, as a matter of fact, he was in the Navy. He was in the He was in the Navy or the Air Force. He's in, I think he's in Thailand right now, though. He didn't marry him a little Thai girl. And the last time I looked at his Facebook, he was over in Asia. It's my mom's brother. Can I pin your comment? How do I, what do you mean pin your comment? Like that? What does that do though? What does pinning your comment do, man? Make sure you like the video and subscribe. You know, it's that late night Saturday night. Oh, not this one? Well, let me unpin it then. I don't even, hold on. Yeah, wait. It won't even let me unpin it now. Oh, wait, there we go. Oh. Oh, okay. Yeah. Absolutely. You know what? See? I would have never thought of that. Yeah, I would have never thought of that. There we go. There we go, like that, huh? I'm trying to get to these super chats, man. I don't know why. Maybe because I need help out here, bro. I'm sitting here working hard, man, but barely even going anywhere, man. I stayed on I don't know, I guess to get to the commercials and the ads, you gotta get 4,000 hours and over 1,000 subscribers, but you also have to like do a two-step verification, and I don't want to do all that, man. But I can apply for it, but I just didn't want to do it. You know, I wanted to hey, check it out, man. I think I told you guys this shit earlier, right? I had went to the grocery store the other day, man. Why was all these people acting like they was gonna hit me with their baskets and shit, man? People kept walking past me down the aisles and they kept swinging their baskets in my direction like they was gonna hit me with their baskets. They've been doing that for a long time, but man, I thought that shit was over with. But obviously, as soon as I go back out in public, they still on the same thing. It's like, I can't help but feel like people follow me around town, man. Like, that shit is crazy. People was trying to hit me with their baskets, bro. And then I made a video earlier today about I came back from the store and they done had like some shit on the porch that nobody here in the house put there, you know, and it wasn't no animal who did it. That was a person who did it. So I don't know. Yeah, I told my daughter's mom about it, and I asked my daughter if they did it, and they both said no, they didn't do it. So I hope they didn't do it, because I recorded it immediately and put it online. I'm like, hey man, if y'all didn't do this shit, then I'm about to record it and put it online. So don't be playing with me trying to make me look stupid and crazy, because somebody did this. If it wasn't y'all, somebody was on the porch that was not invited. So I'm gonna post this shit, so if something happened to anybody in this house, I don't even know if it'll make a difference, but we'll see. Cause I don't play about shit like that. She told me 2 summers ago, or maybe it was last summer, cause I didn't live over here last summer. Somebody just walked up in the house in the middle of the night. Yeah, it's all right. Let them be nuts. I get nuts too when I need to be. I don't be trying to be crazy, but I got a crazy acceleration 0 to 100 real quick. Like Drake said, 0 to 100 real quick. I'm just playing. I ain't trying to sound tough or hard or nothing. But hey, man, why everybody want to mess with me, man? Why everybody want to mess with me? Why they want to put a hit out on me? And then try to do all this spiritual bullshit to me. But that's not what we're here to talk about tonight, man. Well, we might be, I don't know. I don't know what we doing, man. I'm just here because I like to see what y'all talking about, man. I like to see what you guys want to know. I like when new people come in because new people be asking me questions and I get to answer the questions and it gets me talking. You know, when I do lives, I don't be having like pre thought out topics to speak on. And maybe I should. Maybe and you know what, when I first started my lives, that's how I used to do it. But because I don't work for a company and I don't have any guidance on what to properly do, I just be I just be I just be saying and doing whatever comes to mind, right? And maybe that's why a lot of people don't watch my channel, because they want to hear somebody that doesn't talk to the people. But I've seen that the people that talk on their lives that don't talk to the people, they get the most comments and they got the most people in the chat, but they're not even paying attention to the chat. And then the guys who pay attention to the chat, they got the least amount of. I think people just want to see if they can distract a motherfucker. And if they can, then they don't want to watch you. But if they can't distract you, people will fill up into the room and shit like that. But I like YouTube, man. You know, I was gonna make a I used to make beats, man. I was never really good at making beats, but I used to make beats, right? And I was gonna make a channel to where I would freestyle to the little beats that I made and write raps and see how many people I could get to watch my stuff. But then I started seeing other dudes doing the same thing, and they got whole entire studios with professional beats, and I was like, oh man, well, I don't want to do that now. But I don't know. I don't think I'm a good rapper. I could go platinum. Probably not now, but back in the day I could have went platinum. 10, 15, maybe 20 years ago I could have went platinum. 20 years ago I was 24 years old, right? When I was 24 years old, I used to go to all kind of rap battles, man. They weren't really rap battles though. Like, it would just be a circle of dudes that was rapping, and I would get into the circle and I would spit my shit, and I was pretty good, man. And before that, when I used to be scared to rap, I used to be the dude to make the beats for everybody. Like, I know how to beat on stuff really good and make a real good beat. I used to be the guy on there beating on the table or beating on the door or making a beatbox with my mouth. That was me. And then I used to hear what the dudes was rapping about, right? And I would say, man, I can rap better than this dude, man. I should jump in. So one day I just said, fuck it. I didn't make no beat. I just said, I'm gonna start rapping. At first I was kind of nervous, but then I just rapped and it came out hella good. So I was like, shit. From that point forward, I started writing a lot of music, man. I used to have a book like this thick full of all my music, man. I had a lot of music, man. I had a lot of raps. But then I just stopped writing one day, man. I still remember a lot of my stuff though, you know, that I have from when I was coming up. I still remember a lot of my stuff, but I don't write anymore. And I remember one night I remember one night, right? I went with my cousins over to this house where everybody was rapping. They had a little booth inside of a closet, and everybody rapped. But when it came my turn, he turned the mic off. So I was like, I left. I got up out of there. I was like, oh, y'all don't want to hear me rap, huh? All right. So I just was like, they must have been some haters. So I left. I was like, y'all suck, man. Y'all don't even know how to rap anyways. And that's why you don't want me to rap, because you know if I rap, you gonna look retarded. So I left. Fuck them. Then after I was done, I ain't talking about the rapping no more, but after I was done making the chicken, I helped my baby girl with her homework. And then I told her I was about to get on YouTube for a little while. So I think she probably in the bed by now. It's already 1 a.m., so she probably sleep. And then my oldest daughter, she came out and got some chicken. She thought it was really good. I made the chicken with the with some dipping sauce to go with it, which I got a couple pieces of chicken left in there, but I don't feel like eating it. I done poured the dipping sauce out. But it's cool. I know how to make some more. It ain't no big deal. Make some more dipping sauce. And then we gonna get to it. You know, but I don't know, maybe next weekend, I'm gonna step out somewhere. I don't know where I'm gonna go, but I might go walk through Walmart and troll people, turn my live on and just start trolling people for no reason. But I don't want to get kicked out of the store, and I don't do shit like that anyway, so maybe not. It ain't that serious. Not for no content. I ain't no prankster. I ain't no wankster, and I ain't no gangster. So, yeah, never mind. We ain't gonna do that neither. You know, but we are definitely gonna come up with some good type of concepts, man. I've been thinking of the next video I can put out. I think the one I just put out, not the very last one, but the one before that, man, I think I'm gonna hit 100 views on that one. And that'll be the first one ever that I hit 100 views, man. So, you know, I like walking and talking. So I figured every time I go for a walk, I just make a video. But I hate when I go for a walk and I want to make a video, right? But I didn't think about what I wanted to talk about beforehand, because then I don't just want to jump on here and tell you guys any old thing, especially seeing that I'm a smart individual. I'm not stupid, man. I know a lot of stuff, but I feel like sometimes it's challenging, man, to keep moving forward with content. That's why a lot of content creators fall off, because you got to stay consistent, man. And it's not an easy task to stay consistent, bro. That shit is hardcore, man. And, you know, I be staying consistent so far for the most part since November, the beginning of November, December, January, February, March, going into April. I've been consistently doing this shit for 5 months, man. So, you know, we gonna keep, and you know, it sucks because like I have to, damn, I have all these messages and I didn't even know, man. Why isn't it moving, man? See none of these messages. Hey, my bad, guys. I did not see none of these messages, man. I've been wondering why the messages stopped. Now I see why. Because they been going. Gang stalking is real. Joey Fingers, you are correct. Melanie's calling me the king. Thank you. I appreciate it. Someone coming into my house in the middle of the night would be life-changing event. If Godfather, if you still in here, bro, somebody did that to us when I lived in California. My mom told him she had a gun and she was gonna shoot him. Save Life Projects is back. He said, no, just be you, bro. Nah, brother, you have good topics. Exactly, be real. Love you, chosen one. They outbeat you, LOL. Just do what you love. Come see you again. I appreciate you. So Save Life took off. Yeah, amen. I'm definitely looking to start a whole new channel because I want to do something different, man. Like, it's cool with this channel, what I'm trying to do with it, but I got a lot of ideas, man. Like, I want to separate the cooking from this channel, right? I got all those videos, but I want to separate them and add them to another channel, but with new stuff. So that's why sometimes, man, I got videos that I done made that I haven't even uploaded. I just hold on to them, you feel me? Like, everything I talk about doesn't get uploaded. Not everything. A lot of shit does, though, but not every single thing, bro. You know what I'm saying? I haven't been getting any new subscribers lately, neither, which is typical for me, man. I've seen people that were popping up on my radar when I first started doing this shit, and they already got more subscribers than me, and they be getting more views. Well, no, he don't have more views. He be having more views in his lives than I do, but I still got more views than him. So I already know I'm gonna get walked down by a lot of people because, you know, that's just how the game is here on YouTube. You can't even be mad about it. Like, if you be mad, then you're coming off like a hater, right? So it's like not even worth looking at what someone else is doing, even if y'all started at the same time. It's just like, you know, I would say this though, YouTube is definitely for an intellectual, man. Somebody who can stay relevant long term, right? It's definitely like anybody can jump on here and do a little bit for a little while, but to keep it going long term and stay consistent and interesting and keep coming up with good ideas and shit that people want to hear about and people want to see, that is the challenging part, man. Because after a while, you kind of end up talking about the same shit over and over and over. But I didn't understood something that, like, here's an example, right? This is Business 101, right? Let me lower this camera. Business 101 says this, man. When you want to go into business, you don't necessarily have to come up with a new product. A lot of these people are out here creating $100,000 businesses. Yeah, but it changes from minute to minute, Melanie. Like, it changes from minute to minute. But my shit sits at 0 a lot, right? And as the time progresses, like, I'll have to stop the live and jump back in just to get my numbers to go. That's the weirdest thing. It's like I get triangulated by YouTube headquarters to where they just like they direct traffic away from my channel after I've been on for like a half hour, which is coming up in 24 minutes. I mean, in 4 minutes, right? But when I restarted, a bunch of people, yeah, but then my live videos are shorter It's impossible to get views, and that's why I don't even get subscribers, because it's just like everything's all messed up in my world right now. Like, for real. Like, there's a lot of shit messed up in my world, but it doesn't mean I need to keep talking about it. But this is what I was gonna say, right? Business 101 is this, man. There's a lot of guys. They don't have a business idea. They just got the money. And so what they do is they just create a product that already exists and compete with the company, whoever's already making a specific product. There's a lot of companies who do that. You don't have to like come up with the next big thing. You just take what's already out there, rework it. Sometimes you'll get an opportunity to see a product, know that you can make it, and maybe even make it a little bit better for a cheaper cost, right? And let me tell you, that's the reason that the rise of Family Dollar, Dollar General, Dollar Tree, all these little cheap little stores that exist now all over America, right? You got all the, and then here's the other messed up part. All the old stores like Walgreens, CVS, right? They're all closing down and disappearing because of these little cheap stores that are popping up all over America, right? And what do? They just make the same products that already exist. They just make them cheaper and more flimsier, but they still make $100,000 a year business, $200,000-300,000 a year, and then they get a contract with, let's say, Dollar General, Family Dollar, Dollar Tree. You can make a box of crayons with a few colors that Crayola doesn't sell. And you can get a contract with Dollar General, and you can put them in every store in America. All you need is the money to create the product, right? You don't have to come up with like the new crayon or some shit that ain't nobody ever heard of before. You just make some shit that's already out there. YouTube is the same way. YouTube is the exact same way. You can watch a lot of videos that people put out, and you can hear a video that you know you could do, and you could tell yourself, hey, you know what? I could make that same video, right? But I could do it better, not hating on the person that already did the video, but maybe you hear he left a few things out that you can add to, right? And I'm not even saying that I've done that, because I haven't. But on the last video that I made talking about reactive abuse, I put it right there on the video that, hey man, I already know that this video, people have spoke on this before in this video, but the reason that I'm gonna do it on my channel now is because I have an actual story to go with it. It ain't just, it's not just gonna be a teaching like a class, because I'm gonna tell you what it is, and then I'm gonna share my story with what happened to me. So that's why I like to stick to the topics that I do, because the whole reason I created what I do is because I got a lot of stories. I got situations that I've been in throughout my life that I can go deeper than just teaching you about some shit. I can teach you about it too, but I could tell you why this is why I can teach you about this, because I went through this and here's the story. So, and then I don't even get into detail, because I could get into detail better about it, but I just try to keep my videos at 10 minutes or less nowadays. Because when I first started, I was trying to hit 5-hour lives. Like, who's doing 5-hour lives? Well, part of the reason was it was the holidays. I was trying to get my watch hours up. But then I was doing 30-minute, 45-minute videos, which is cool depending on what you're talking about, right? I guess it depends on what you're talking about, right? So I didn't cut everything down. I started keeping these videos down to like an hour, maybe 2 hours at the most. That way people would be more inclined to watch the shit. Cause I'm gonna tell you right now, ain't nobody trying to watch a video that's 5 hours long. It just, people ain't trying to do that. And then even if they do, they're just gonna skim through it, through the whole damn video, right? And so when I first started out with my long form videos, well, I know, so, yeah, I mean, I got views on everything I do, right? But what I'm trying to get at is the long form videos are just, I keep them no more than 15 minutes now, right? Because let's say somebody's waiting at the bus stop and they just want to hear what I'm talking about. 15 minutes ain't going to be too long, you know. But anywhere from 10 to 15 minutes. And then my shorts, right? Of course, the shorts are always going to be a thing for me. I ain't never going to stop doing those because I always be sitting here and I'll just come up with new ideas, or I'll be out somewhere and I'll see like some dope ass footage that I want to do. And I'll be like, all right, I'm going to film real quick. I'm gonna fill up my phone with little small clips, and then you see how I do it. I'll film the sky for 30 seconds, just film the clouds. It don't even matter, and then I'll add some audio to it and some music to it, and it turned out to be a pretty damn good video. I done got thousands and thousands of views off of that, and the reason I know it's good material is because I also get a lot of likes. Because if people didn't like it, they wouldn't hit the like button. You know what I'm saying? And so, it's just, I like to be creative. And I like, my whole thing is this: I like to make stuff that I know I would want to see. If I was just scrolling on somebody's page and I seen some of the shit I make, I'd be like, I would like that shit. I would watch it for 30. I got 30 seconds to watch. I got 15 seconds, whatever. And then I'm not a hater, man. Melanie, if you only knew how many people's videos that I just like for no damn reason at all, and just be watching people's shit. I just be picking people to support, man. I've always, ever since YouTube became a thing, that's how I've always approached YouTube. Is if I like a creator and I'm watching them, I'll automatically like the video right off the top. And then I'll watch it. Now, here's the thing. If it turns out to be some garbage, I'll say, nah, fuck that. I don't even want to sit up here. But I've also unsubscribed from a lot of content creators. Like if they say something that, like, I'll give you an example so I don't come off like a hater. There's this content creator, right, that I liked at first. It was a female too. Like I really liked her shit, right? And then one day she dropped a video, and just so happens I had already knew about what she was speaking on because I had seen it, the real story. And this girl made up a complete fabricated story. I mean, it was a complete lie. Everything about the video was bullshit. Nothing was real. She just put some shit together to really just trick people. That made me unsubscribe from her. But if it wouldn't have been for that video, I wouldn't have unsubscribed. And I'm going to tell you what it was, right? There is a big ass explosion in Mexico on the freeway during an accident, right? And a lot of Mexican guys got burnt up from the explosion. It was a really bad accident, and it was a really big explosion. It was like a propane trunk, a propane or a gas truck or something like that. It exploded, right? And it was fucked up. Like dudes were walking around with their skin falling off. And I was like, damn, that's horrible. That's messed up. And so months later, I see this video of this girl that I've been watching for months now. Jay, what's going on, man? I see this video from this girl I've been watching for months, right? And like, the first things out of her mouth was, first she shows the footage of right after the explosion, right? Where the guys are walking around with their skin hanging off. And I'm already knowing what I'm looking at because I seen the real story. This girl gonna sit up here and say, "Oh, there's zombies on the loose in Mexico. Look at them. These guys are," and I'm like, "Are you fucking serious? That's how you play the game? You sit up here and just gonna take some tragic, devastating shit and call these people zombies, man?" I couldn't unsubscribe from her fast enough. That shit pissed me off to the deepest levels of my core. I was like, "No, that ain't right. That's messed up." And so I unsubscribed because I was like, if you gonna do that, you always gonna do that. And now I don't know what content of yours that I come across. Or another one, here's another one. I'll see a story from like 10 years ago, right? Now, this is notorious on Facebook. This is what I don't like about Facebook, man. These dudes are whack as hell, man. They'll take a story from like 10 or 15 years ago, add their little AI, their little thumbnails, and all this bullshit to the video, right? And then they'll act like the shit just happened 24 hours ago. And so now you're looking at it and you all into it like you really thinking this shit just happened, not even knowing this story is like 15 years old. And they've then ran hundreds and hundreds of stories on this story, but you got this person that just can't help it. They want to regurgitate some shit just to get some views. That's why you see I man, I don't do reactions. I don't do clip-ons. I talk about, there is no editing to my damn channel. Like I may edit it as far as the music and put a little bit of writing on the page, but like if you come on my page, you're not going to see a little square at the bottom of the screen with me talking about it. No, but it don't be AI. What it be is they're these creators that are just trying to get free views off of regurgitation. And there's a lot of dudes that do that, especially on Facebook. And I'd be like, that's why I don't really like Facebook like that, because I've seen so many stories like that where I'm already up on this story. I've already watched it. And sometimes I watched it years ago. And I'm like, how is this dude gonna post this story like this shit just happened? Like, who does that? And he's got all this effort put onto this story as if it just happened. So sometimes I'll give him the benefit of the doubt, right? I'll click just to see if there's a story behind it. And sometimes there is. It'll say, "Oh, on October 28th, 2015, this happened." And so I'm like, all right, cool. At least he told us when the shit really happened. But a lot of these people, they don't do that. They just act like it happened yesterday. And I'm like, people been cried over that. People been grieved over that. People forgot about it. So how are you just going to like use this like the shit just happened yesterday, man? That's crazy. But you know, like big stories that people think no one's heard about. I mean, big stories that they know everybody's heard about. You never see it happening like with that. Like for example, you'll never hear of the time Dale Earnhardt Jr. when he passed away. Rest in peace, Earnhardt Jr. Right? You'll never see a story anytime in the future about that because it was a big story. Everybody will know right away that it's some bullshit. So they try to use these stories they think a lot of people may not know about. And so I be catching it though, and I don't like that shit. I be like, come on, man. That's not the kind of content creator I'm ever gonna be. I ain't that desperate for views. You know, this started out, my channel started out as, I don't know, man, awareness and maybe even like, you know, I needed to put some information out there. So like I was worried about some shit that could happen to me, right? Because it was a lot going on when I first made this channel. People was really on my head for no reason, and I just was like really mad. They're still on my head, but I'm used to it now, right? Ain't nothing really, really bad happened to me up till now, besides the time when I got poisoned. And you know, people still try to tell me that's bullshit just because I guess they think that when you poison somebody, they supposed to just get unalived right away. And I'm like, no, that ain't the case, man. But at any rate, that's probably the reason, you know, for the launch of this. But as time went on, I was like, I don't want to just make it to where everything I post is just sad and messed up and poor me and da da da. Like, I didn't want to do all that shit. So I was like, I'm gonna keep putting that shit out as I come across it. Like today, I seen the shit on the porch and I knew right away someone had been on the porch that wasn't invited over here, because it's just, I knew, you know, I knew that, right? I knew. Unless somebody trying to play games with me, that, but like I said, everybody in the house said they didn't do it. Okay. Well, I'm gonna make a video about it. So if you claim you didn't do it, I didn't do it, nobody did it, then I'm gonna make a video, audio documentation of this, that people are sneaking up onto the porch. It just is a declaration that this little stalking shit is still occurring in this neighborhood, in my life, and this is real, and this is a little piece of the proof. I know it's little petty proof, it's really kind of silly proof, but it's proof nevertheless that an unannounced person is coming up here because didn't no animal do it. So I'll still make those kind of videos, right? Because that's the spirit of what my channel was always about anyway, right? But then I'll add other shit just so you could see that I'm not just only about that. I got a life, I got character, I got soul, I got swag, you know, I got a lot going on when these people ain't fucking targeting me, right? But since they won't let me get a job and all this bullshit, and I'm not even blaming anybody for not being able to work, but it sure seems like that, because I've been in this state for 9 years and I ain't never had a problem getting employment. Never. Not one single time until now. And now all of a sudden it's just like nobody will hire me, right? It's just this campaign. But, you know, I just put that together with all the shit that was happening to me at my last job and the job before that, and the fact that I had to keep leaving these jobs because of like unsafe conditions. And every time I would try to like report the shit, because like I'm not up in work trying to act like we're in a street or prison situation, like I report it because I'm not that guy anymore. I'm not sitting up here waiting to punch the first guy that disrespects me in the mouth. Now, that's how I used to be. So since I wasn't getting nowhere with reporting it, and then I lost my job and I can't get a job, I said, well, I'm just going to report my journey from this point forward. Whatever happens, whatever I see, whatever I encounter, I'm going to post it for evidence, because that's all I got at this point in my life. But I got all kinds of other stuff too. I do gaming, even though my gaming sucks. I never said I was good. I never been good at gaming. I just like the game, and it gave me the option to live stream it. So I added that to the channel too, right? And that's the type of shit I be on, right? So if I'm walking down the street and I see something crazy going on, I might go live and film it just so I can add that to the channel, right? Because my channel isn't about just one single thing. It's about whatever I want it to be about. But I have to stick within the guidelines of what I announced it to be. See, YouTube has a weird thing, right? They go by the consistency of your main content in order for you to get favored by the algorithm, in order for the monetization, in order for you to unlock stuff, to get a lot of watch hours, to get a lot of views. The actual algorithm that they use is based on the consistency of your core audience. If you're constantly making videos that target a core audience, it will help the algorithm push your video to those kind of people, right? If you just all over the place every time you make a video, it's just about different stuff, it's going to affect the algorithm for your channel, and you're going to get less views. You're going to get less recommendations. And not to mention all the haters out there that, like, I, I don't even want to explain it, but you know what I'm happy about? You notice that all the trolls don't visit my channel no more, right? When's the last time you seen a troll come in one of my lives? Now, maybe they might come. This is the time where they usually be in full force. They be out in force around this time. But like, I don't get how you doing, Darren? How you doing, brother? I don't get a lot of trolls, man, because you know, they try to, well, I don't entertain them, but I also target their ass right back in such a way where they probably feel some kind of way. But you know what? I had heard through somebody else that a lot of those trolls ain't even real people. They're fucking bot farm made up trolls. And that's why when you talk shit to them, they say weird stuff. You know, and a lot of those dudes are not real. That's why when you block one, they come right back. They keep coming back. They keep coming back, right? But I try to keep my channel with a variety of things to where you don't have to get bored off of just, oh man, this fool always talks about this shit. He always talking about this. Or no, it's all kinds of shit. And it's going to be, I think the cooking is the best part. Because like, for instance, me, when I see cooking videos, I like the colors. I like the spice colors. I like looking at onions being chopped up. I like to look at red peppers and boiling soup water. And I like to look at all that kind of shit, right? Yeah, there's definitely a lot of those, man. And I mean, they'll come through from time to time. But here's the thing about those trolls, right? They count as views too. So when they stop coming, bro, your views go down whether you like it or not. Like, motherfuckers say they don't want those trolls around, but when the trolls disappear, your views kind of drop. Your views kind of go down too, right? So, you know, they you know, but I don't care. I'm not one of those people that, I don't need sleazy views, bro. I want solid, grassroots, organic views from real people looking for real content that aren't just up all night trolling, whether they trolling for a business, whether they trolling for a cult, whatever they trolling for. I want organic people, man. So I don't mind those views being gone, right? Like, my views have been cut in half over the last couple months. I barely get views, but I don't be caring. Like, it's all good, man, you know. And honestly, I focus more on my watch hours anyway than the views, right? Because the views have a funny way of walking. The views, you can walk somebody down with views. Like, for example, you may not get them on the front end, but once you post that video and it stays posted, you might get the views on the back end, right? It may take a few months, but one day you just gonna see that video keep climbing and climbing and climbing, and then it gets to the point where you want it to get to, even though you don't get your views right then and there. So I really don't care about the views, but the hours are a different thing, because if anybody messes around with content on here and they're trying to have like a real actual certified page, the only thing I haven't did is register the LLC with all this content listed, to where if somebody uses my stuff, I can sue them. That's the only thing I haven't done yet, right? And you know what's crazy? The state of Michigan has the absolute cheapest rate to start a business. And I'll give you an example. In Las Vegas, it costs $850 to register an LLC in the state of Nevada. $850 damn dollars. Or at least that's what it was when I left the state. It could have went up or it could have went down, but either way it goes, it was 800 and something dollars 9 years ago, right? In the state of Michigan, it's $50. And for a lot of times, there's many ways out here to get the LLC for free where you don't have to pay nothing, right? Now, when you start getting into your Dud and Bradstreet accounts and doing all that kind of shit, yeah, it's only $50 here in Michigan, man. Michigan is a very business friendly state, man. So is Ohio. So is pretty much the whole Midwest. Anything that surrounds the Great Lakes, because of the river system where the big boats can pass through the whole water system, it's all business friendly because there's a lot of business up this way. There's billions and billions of dollars up here. That's why I told you, like, I've never had a problem getting a job. I'm not slow. I'm not retarded. I'm not crazy. I'm not schizo. I ain't none of that. This is a business friendly state where there's a lot of business up here. There's a lot of successful people. Not only that, Michigan has old money. There's billionaires that live here, like old money billionaires that made billions of dollars. There's companies right in Detroit that's been running since the company that I just left has been in business since 1939, right? The do you know that McDonald's started in 1940, right? Just to give you a scope of what I'm trying to say. McDonald's started in 1940. The company I was just working for has been in business consistently since 1939. And that's just that company. The other company I worked for, you could look it up, a place called Judd Industrial Contracting. Now, I never worked for Judd, but I worked inside of their building for another company. Judd Industrial Contracting, they work on turbine motors. They install them, they repair them, they maintenance them. Bro, they've been in business since 1912. So it's a lot of old money. And then I heard that the owner of that company is not even the original. Obviously, he's not. He ain't been around since 1912. But the point I'm trying to make is they own one of the biggest insurance firms also in the state. So that family got all kinds of business. They got all kind of money. Like, it's a lot of money out here. It's a lot of business. It's not hard to get a job in Michigan. So if you find yourself not able to get a job, that's because somebody somewhere decided that they didn't want you to work. It's not because no one's hiring. It's because somebody somewhere behind the scenes, whether you want to believe this or not, they don't want you to work. They want you to starve, because that's another thing about this place is you can make a lot of enemies really fast here. Like, you would just piss the wrong guy off and he'll call the Freemasons and say, "Hey, I don't want this guy working no more." And now all of a sudden you're fucking homeless. You can't find a job. You lost everything. That's how it goes here, right? It's like this shit is ran old school, like the old mafia, how shit used to be. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you got to be careful. But what I'm trying to get at is it ain't about all that. I'm just saying it's a lot of business out here. So everything when it comes to you starting a business, it's hella cheap. You know what I'm saying? It's hella cheap. Yeah, they the Freemasons, Jay. You know, the Freemasons, if who you think owns all these businesses in the United States? You think just regular people own all these big industries? You think that they're just random people with no power, with no connections? 90% of all these businesses around the United States are Freemason owned. So if you get into it with one guy, he makes one phone call. He's not a mobster, he's a fucking Freemason. And if he makes the fucking call, your ass will never work again. You know? That's why they always say a job is a privilege, because it's not a right. It's never been a right. Because the people that run it, if they don't like your ass, if they feel like you causing problems in the job sector, they just won't let you in. They'll just say, don't hire him. And if they say that, you ain't gonna get a job nowhere. Don't matter. Now, I'm not saying every business is owned by the Freemasons, but a lot of them are. Most big companies are Freemasons. Most of them. Whether you believe that or not, that's It can be a secret for some, but it ain't no secret for me. Like, that's a fact. It's just, if you keep it real with yourself, and anybody that you fuck with ain't on no secret squirrel shit, they'll be like, yeah, most of these big companies out here, the head, the family that owns it, they're Freemasons. And if they ain't Freemasons, they're connected to them. What about people that, a lot of people job hop, but that's the thing. You can do that here in Michigan. It's like, let's say you get a job at a, see, and let me tell you why job hopping is a relevant thing, right? Because there's a lot of shitty jobs here. There are a lot of low paying, shitty jobs that are always hiring. If you like, if you go on Indeed and you see a specific company that's always hiring, that's because they don't keep nobody ever. They don't keep people. And then if you get lucky and get in a company that's never hiring, you're not going to be a permanent person there and get to have 30 years on the job if, number one, the gatekeeper don't like you, or number two, the people that are there don't like you. You're probably going to only be there temporarily, maybe a year to 2 years, and then you're going to have to find another job. It's not you job hopping, it's just they're looking for a specific vibe and a flow of their people, but they have different positions that open up for stragglers like myself. I'm considered a straggler. I'm an outsider, you know what I'm saying? So job hopping is one of those things where, if you want to hold it against the person, but I mean, like, that would be stupid because, like, you got to understand, jobs are ran, a lot of these bigger companies are ran like fucking cults. They eat at each other's house, they go out to dinners with each other's families, and if they ain't calling you, that's because they don't look at you as an insider. Any job I ever worked at, I didn't get invited nowhere, and that was cool with me. I'm not a invite me type of guy. I don't want to go and do shit with y'all. I'm a private person. I just want to make my money and go home. And you know why? Because that's the way I was taught back in Las Vegas. Now, mind you, when I worked at a place in Vegas for 10 years, right? I knew the owner. I've been to his house. I ate at his house. I brought my lowrider to his house during a cookout one day. I knew the superintendent. Um, I like, that was a different play, but that was a small company. There was only 12 of us, right? Jobs are freedom, but jobs are also full of politics, just like a prison yard. So it's like, you go, you get a job. If them people don't like you, it don't matter, you know what I'm saying, what you got going on or how good you like the company or how, whether you want to stay there or not. If the people don't like you, if the gatekeeper don't like you ain't gonna last there, period. If they feel like they can't control you, if they feel like you don't work, there's so many factors, but that's all besides the point, right? All I'm saying is this: Michigan is a job friendly state. They've got thousands upon thousands upon thousands of fucking jobs. There's so many jobs that there's a lot of them that are just shitty. They're not good jobs. They're just a fucking guy with some money, and he gonna slave drive your ass to make more money. And so you may not stay there. And that was just me answering just Jay's question, because Jay has a way of always, like, I think Jay is somebody different than who he says he is, because he's always coming at me in such a way to where he's trying to dissect everything I say, the way I think. He questions my answers. I don't know. I don't care, but I'm just answering just Jay's question, right? As far as just us black, jobs are freedom. Absolutely. I mean, they're freedom to a point. It's all good. I'm just telling this guy that I'm answering your question because it seems like you always question what I say as if like I don't know what I'm talking about or something. And the point wasn't even about the Freemasons. It was just an add-on to what I'm saying about this part of the world being just like here's another example. Michigan is also part of the trucking hub. There's a lot of trucking going on here. If I were to get my CDL, I could probably get a trucking gig, right? But I'm scared to drive trucks because it is a very dangerous part of the world to be driving trucks. There are a lot of truckers who lose their life, you know. All right, well, it don't mean nothing to me, Jay, to be honest with you, man. I'm not, I don't go back and forth with nobody, but hey, I'll see you when I see you though, bro. All you got to do is like stop questioning everything a person say. But you know, the customer is not always right at this store. But anyways, like I was saying, this is also a trucking friendly place, right? And you know, I'm scared to drive trucks though, right? I've crashed in a tow truck once, and that was one of the most terrifying experiences that I've ever had in my life. You feel me? And I was like, man, ever since that time, I've been kind of skittish about getting in the driver's seat of a big truck, man, because, you know, them trucks be having air brakes and they be having drum brakes and they be having oil bath wheel wells. I mean, oil bath hubs. And if any of that shit fails, you're gonna crash. And if you crash, the last tow truck that I drove, Space. Oh, okay. Space Peanut is back. What's going on? The last tow truck I drove was a gasoline tow truck. And I used to be so worried about if that motherfucker crashes, it's gonna catch on fire. So I demanded that the owner give me a fire extinguisher. I really wanted two of them. I wanted one on the floor and one on the pillar behind my head. But you know, you can't get everything you want. But he did give me the one, so I was cool with that, right? I had one, right? But I was just like, man, I remember one day I was driving in a tow truck and the crankcase broke. And the truck was still running, right? The truck was still running, but there was oil spilling all over the road. And I went to turn, right? And one of the wheels caught the oil and kind of slid, and I felt it. So I got out. I pulled over into the gas station. I got out and I looked, and the fucking the crankcase was cracked right in the center back behind the radiator. And I was spilling so much oil. I was like, bro, I don't even know if I'm gonna be able to, because I was about almost 20 miles away from the shop at the time, right? So I called boss man and I told him, hey, look, man, the crankcase is cracked. I need to head back immediately. I might even have to be towed because we're losing oil and I don't want to burn this motor up, right? And I could see as I was driving, I could see the oil splattering behind me. And another, like, so it's like you got to be careful, right? I was always scared after that accident in this tow truck, jumping back in a big truck, but I was willing to do it. Like, I love my life. I'll protect my life and all of that. But at the same time, like, I don't want to pass away on the road due to negligence because I'm one of those employees that'll just do anything I'm told, even if it's dangerous. So I made it back to the shop with that truck. They fixed the problem. It was good after that, right? But you know, I did crash a tow truck once though, in the middle of the night. It was a downpour rainstorm, and I lost traction, and I was on the freeway when the shit happened, right? I was getting off on the exit to enter onto another freeway going into a different direction. And as I was going around the curve, the tow truck completely lost traction. Now, I've never been in the union, bro. I was always anti-union because Let me tell you why I was always anti-union, man. I was always anti-union because union workers get laid off all the time, right? And I just felt like I would be one of those dudes that got laid off. So, and when I started my career as a welder, I worked for a small company, you know, on the industrial side of town, and I participated in building that small company up to where they would run forever, right? Me and my brother, in fact, my brother worked there too, and we were cool with the owner's superintendent. Like I was in a special position because I worked with the owner's superintendent. It was me, my brother, and the superintendent all on one truck. And when the superintendent ended up getting the office, me and my brother got to take over that truck, which at the time was the best truck in the company. It was set up the best. It was the biggest truck, and we did the best work. I was a carport guy. I went around all these apartment complexes, repairing, rebuilding, tearing down, building from brand new carports of all kind. Carport. I did thousands and thousands and thousands and fucking thousands and thousands and thousands of feet of carports. I done dug 6-foot holes by myself with a fucking jackhammer and a shovel for carports. I done filled up 6-foot holes, 6 by 4 foot holes with bags of concrete, where we went to Home Depot with a Home Depot card and bought a whole pallet of concrete just to fill 2 holes, right? I've been on the news. I done hurt myself. I done almost lost a hand. You see this scar right here? A panel sliced my wrist right here one day when I was working by myself. I'm talking about sliced the shit wide open. I thought I was about to die. Stroud, what's going on, brother? No, I never had no welding accidents. This was one day I was slanging panels by myself, which was some shit I shouldn't have did. And the whole reason it happened was because I was wearing leather gloves instead of rubber gloves. And leather gloves, they get glazed after a while, right? And when they get glazed, leather will slide. It won't grip anymore. You know, and man, I've did so much carport work, man. I could build a carport right now in anybody's yard from scratch. I'll go get all the material and I'll build that shit by myself. All I need is a ladder, a welder, a drill, some screws, and a grinder. That's it, and some cords, and maybe a generator. And you just sit back, and then when I'm all done, that shit will look professional. That shit will be square, and I'll paint it to match. You know, from the sweat, man, you know, but I learned a lot from that company, man. And you know, I didn't get paid what I should have got paid, but I always tell people this, right? What I didn't get in money, I got in experience, and that experience, come to find out, was worth more money than I could have ever got, because that shit kept me going. When I left Vegas and I came here, that shit kept me going for years and years and years and years and years in the welding industry. And now I'm a contender in the welding industry. I ain't the best, but you should see some of my weld. I got a few shorts of some of the work I do. And I'm a cold ass welder, man. I'm talking about, I can stick weld, I can aluminum weld, I can MIG weld, I can stainless steel weld. They always kept me away from TIG welding, but I'm pretty sure if I ever had an opportunity to TIG weld, you know, not to sound racist, but in my line of work, that was always something all the white dudes always got to do. Like, it's very rare you see a black, light skin, or any other TIG welder. Although there are a lot of Puerto Rican TIG welders, though. But it's hard to get into TIG welding because that's where the money's at. But you will very, very rarely see a black TIG welder. They got them, but they're rare. But anyways, I'm good. I'm pretty much good at what I do, man. Once I pick up on it, you know, I do it right. And so since I've been in Michigan, I started my own company back during the pandemic, and my brother is a TIG welder. A TIG welder is it's where you weld with a rod in one hand and your tungsten arc in the other with the gas, and you have to feed the steel into the fire. It's not the same as MIG welding. MIG welding, the rod comes out the tip of the welder and you just fill the gaps in whatever you're welding. TIG welding can take you anywhere from 10 to 20 years to master. TIG welding is a very difficult type of welding that it takes technique, and it takes conditioning, and it takes time on the welding task to actually learn it. Like, you can't just pick it up in a day. You can TIG weld, but you won't be good at it. You gotta go through the hours to learn it. You gotta go through the situations to learn it. You gotta but it's you would have to look it up. I can't fully explain it over the video because it's something that you have to look at and understand. Exactly. It's extreme soldering on a whole nother level, right? But it's also extremely strong welding. They use it for little tiny welding. Like, you're going to see a lot of TIG stainless. You're going to see a lot of TIG aluminum on light gauge stuff that needs to look good, where you don't spread a lot of heat around the piece that you're welding, right? TIG welding will help you dial in on a certain area to fill a really small gap, right? But TIG welding is badass, and the better you get, you find a lot of TIG welding in automotive shops, because people that get like high performance cars that have like custom exhaust, it has to be TIG welded, because I'm talking about, you got guys with titanium, you got guys with all aluminum, all stainless, regular raggedy bullshit exhaust is just mild steel, coated with galvanized, whatever you call it. What's going on, Vanita? Turbo Christ in the house. It's really dangerous, but I know those welders out in the middle of the ocean rigs. Yeah, they do, but you don't, it's not a year-round job though. That's why they pay them so much. Oh, I'm all right, just politicking with the people like I do best, trying to make everything make sense. Me, I'm a MIG welder, man. That's what I work in fab shops. That's what I do, man. I work in fab shops. We fabricate shit. The fitter puts it together. You know, the fabricator, they get the parts ready, and I was the welder, but I got many opportunities to help the fitter and the fabricators, which the fabricator basically is the fitter. And then you got the guy who cuts all the material. Usually we'll have a guy who counts and tags all the material. Me, I'm the guy who gets the piece once it's fitted together, and I just lay a bunch of badass welds all over. It might take me a whole day to weld one piece up. I'm kind of glad I got out of the industry though, because man, it's a lot. It's heavy on your lungs, bro. Like, I probably breathed in so much welding smoke off of that metal. I'm surprised I ain't got cancer or leukemia, man, already, right? Because I didn't breathed in so much damn smoke off of that shit, right? But that was my field of expertise even before I got into tow truck driving. I've been a maintenance man. I go for skilled trade type of work, man. You know what I mean? Are you watching from Montreal? Yeah, you know what, Vanita? I had spoke to you quite some time ago. Let me ask you this. Are you from Ghana? Or yeah, are you from Ghana? Are you from East Africa, West Africa area, Central, somewhere over there? Or that might be someone else that I'm talking about. But I'm pretty sure that was Vanita I was talking to a while back. It's been a long time though. Okay, no, it was another female. But at any rate, it's still golden. You know, it's no. I get people mixed up, man. I didn't did a lot of lives, so I didn't spoke to a lot of people. Probably easily over 10,000 people since my first live. You know, or more. You know, I've spoke to a lot of people, man. So it's hard to keep track of every person, especially when people don't come around on a regular basis. It's hard to sit here and remember every person. So my brother, he learned how to TIG weld because he went and invested his money into a TIG welding machine and the gas and all the material in his backyard. And what we would do when I lived in Vegas is I'd go over to his house and we would have a TIG welding party. Just me, him, and my sister, smoking weed, drinking beer, and talking about the old days when we were kids, eating tacos or whatever we was cooking, but TIG welding on little plates of steel, just trying to get out of life what we wouldn't have got by society. We were trying to be self-taught in everything that we did because we knew that if we didn't do it like that, we wasn't going to get the opportunity to do it. We had to hit the game already knowing how to do it. So I left and came here. He continued on, and he didn't had TIG welding jobs. I didn't stay on the TIG welding long enough to become as good as him, but I could have. If I would have stayed, I would have got better. Or who knows what would have happened. Hey, I got some friends from the Caribbean, man. As a matter of fact, a good friend of mine in Las Vegas, we got in some trouble. We stole a car and drove to Los Angeles and got arrested one night. And his brother was in the military, and he got real mad at me for getting his brother arrested. But he was from Tobago. Him and his brother were from Tobago. A little dude named Michael, man. That was my best friend too, man. Yep, that was my best friend, man. Every time I see him, what's up, Tyrone? In that fucking Tobago accent. Then he took my shoes and left the county jail with my damn shoes on. I had to wear sandals all the way back to Las Vegas because of him. I had to go to the Greyhound station and catch a bus home. Even though my aunt lived not too far from the bus station, she was gonna come pick me up. But I was like, nah, it's cool, Auntie. I'm just gonna catch the bus. See, he didn't have family in Cali. I did, so I could have got a ride by my people, but I wasn't tripping. I just was like, I want to catch the bus. It was a dude on the bus with me, as a matter of fact, when I caught the bus. Let me see, we left LA and then we went to Riverside. And then from Riverside, we went to San Bernardino. And this dude got on the bus with a backpack full of weed. I'm talking about this dude had so much weed in his backpack. This dude sold me an ounce of weed for $30, man. And I don't know if you've been on a Greyhound ever, but they got throw up bags on Greyhounds, right? They got little throw up bags attached to the wall. So I just grabbed me a throw up bag and I put the weed in the bag and tied it up, put that inside of another bag and tied that up and just tucked it all the way till I got to Vegas, man. But yeah, that's my homie from Tobago, man. But yeah, that's what I was doing, man. But long story short, man, a real long story short is Michigan is business friendly, man. It only costs $50 to start a business. And then you got to do all the rest of your shit. There are other fees required to, get your shit up and running, doing your insurance and your bonding. You're going to have some money, man. But When I was younger, I used to go see my girlfriend riding a Greyhound because she lived far away. And I used to see, oh, you ain't seen nothing until you get on a Greyhound in Los Angeles to go to Las Vegas. That is the craziest ride. Other than maybe from Detroit to Cleveland or something, anywhere where like you're leaving from one wild city going to another one. But Los Angeles and to Las Vegas is definitely a trip for anybody to remember, man. Especially back then, back in the early 2000s, man. Um, I remember this Mexican dude. He got on a San Bernardino and he was drunk as fuck, right? He was cool though. Don't get me wrong. He was hella cool, man. But he was already so drunk, and then he just had a Mickey's just popped out with a big ass 40 ounce of Mickey's, right? This motherfucker went in the bathroom and just stayed in it. We could hear him throwing up, and we were like, damn, that's fucked up. Why would this dude get on the bus that drunk, man? You're gonna head to bed now, have to wake up in 3 hours for work. Absolutely. Sounds like a plan to me, Vanita. Catch me the next time you see me, or you could just subscribe and like the video now, and you'll be notified. It's up to you though. But yeah, it is now 2 a.m., and it's AU as well, Vanita. It is Sunday morning, the wee hours of Sunday morning, man. Who else is going to sleep here in a minute? I won't be going to sleep. I'm wide awake, man. I drank a whole pot of coffee earlier, man. But this is my second live, really. You know what I'm saying? I went live earlier, but I only stayed on for an hour and 10 minutes. Oh, you already sub? Oh, I appreciate it then. Excuse me, sweetheart. I am so grateful for the support. I really am. So thank you. I'm going to be going live more and more these coming weeks. So, just be looking for it on your notification board. I'll try to go live a little bit earlier next time because I know it's out this way. It's late. So, yeah, I know. I'm definitely on Canada time right now. But, yeah, man, when I came to Michigan, man, I really, really went hard. And, I got knocked off a couple times, but I had put myself in a position where I could sustain through a lot of it. And this has probably been the longest I've been without work ever. You know what I'm saying? This has probably been the longest, but I'm not really tripping. It is what it is, man. You can't always win every battle. You can't always come out on top every channel. I mean, every battle. There's a lot of times when you gotta realize that you fucked up somewhere along the way, and you gotta like learn from it and hope that the shit gets you back where because I done lost all my little shit that I done grinded for out here. You know what I'm saying? I didn't took major losses, man. But I've been taking major losses all my life, so it really ain't a big deal to me taking losses because I always looked at maybe it's because of who I am and the way that my life was set up. Hey man, shit was always temporary for me, man. Everything. I like when I was younger, I never knew when I was gonna pass away. I never knew, man. Like the story I told earlier about the two dudes arguing and one of the dudes shot a gun and the bullet whizzed past my head and I had nothing to do with the argument. It was just like I never knew when my life was gonna end. So I just always looked at everything as temporary. I remember another time I ran out in the motherfucking middle of the street, right? And here comes a Mustang doing 80 miles an hour in a 45-mile-an-hour zone. And I'm jaywalking. And somehow, dude didn't hit me. But by all accounts, I should have got hit. I still to this day don't know how I didn't get hit by this Mustang, right? Silver Mustang, man. Speeding so damn fast down the street, man. And he like, dude was a kick-ass driver because he must have seen me somehow because he swerved around me. And he was going faster than every other car heading southbound. And I'm sitting here standing in between a lane on the dotted line, right? And so I didn't get hit, right? And, you know, I survived many things, right? Like too many things to count. You know, I done been choked out. I done been stabbed with an ice pick. My heart done stopped on me twice. So when I take losses, I really don't like it hurts a little bit, but it really is just like I've been so close to being up out of here. Jay Biggs, I knew you was gonna show up tonight, bro. I knew I was gonna see. That's why I stayed on. I was like, I'm gonna stay on. Jay Biggs is just gonna pop up. And he popped up. What's going on, man? Hey man, but everything's temporary to me, man. Everything, man. Even life itself. So I don't care about the losses, man. I just don't want to be homeless. That's it. I don't want to be out in the elements here because I'm not familiar with this community. Because the whole time I've been here, I've been busy, making money, working, minding my business, and doing what I had to do. I got two daughters, two young daughters under the age of 18 that both live here. I took care of both of them for a long time. Since the whole time I've been here, I've been doing everything I can for them, right? I just helped my youngest daughter with her homework tonight. Before I started this live, I FaceTimed my daughter and she called me on FaceTime and we sat there and I helped her with her homework. You know, and then she was playing with her slime. Then she showed me her bird and her little fish. And, you know, she's 7. So, you know, but that's what I've been focused on the whole time. Now, this other shit that I be talking about came out of left field. But I've been out here building skills, building connections, and building wealth. At least that's what I thought I was doing. Till I started getting attacked out of nowhere. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I got all my original teeth, bro, and I don't have no cavities. None. Never had a cavity in my life. Although I lost one of my fillings. See, I got a filling on this side. That one fell out, and I chipped my tooth one day when I got out the pool on some wet concrete and fell on my face. Chipped my tooth. My teeth are kind of yellow because I drink coffee and I smoke cigarettes. Oh well. My gold is yellow too, so I really don't care. Um, you know, but businesses are cheap to obtain out here. Anyway, so the business that I was creating though was welding repair. I had a truck, I had a machine, I had cords, I had a grind. I still got my grinder. I sold my welder, but guess what? I got another one sitting right there. So I got a welder still, but this is a shop welder. This ain't an outside welder, but I could still use what I got for outside work. And this is a good welding machine that I have, right? So I have a welding machine. I have my grinder. I just don't have my truck anymore. I don't have my cords. My business has been stagnant for a few years now. Like I fell on these hard times out of nowhere. I still don't know why. I don't even care why. Like, I don't care why I fell on these hard times because I know they're engineered, bro. A lot of shit in my life been engineered, right? But what can you do, man? You can't do nothing. That's what you do. You don't do shit. It either passes or it don't. And if it don't pass, then you just bless the devil with a solid fuck you and just know that everything in life is temporary, you know. Everything in life is temporary. And so like, you know, whatever happens from here, you know, I say it all the time, whatever my future holds, I do not know. It could be wealth or it could be my last breath, but either way it goes, I'm not about to be stressed out about all the shit around me that goes on with my life at the hands of other people, right? Because like once you realize that ain't nobody stupid, ain't nobody blind, ain't nobody slow, ain't nobody schizophrenic, ain't nobody crazy. The devil is a lie. I just want to get back to work. I just want to be able to really take care of myself and you go fishing with my kids and do all that type of shit and you know and everything like that and you know keep it going the way that it go and live my life to the best of my ability and fucking you know I still need to teach my 7-year-old how to fish. you know I still got to do that. So so that's what I'm on these days. Right now I just been sitting in the house making my YouTube videos, waiting. I'm like, you ever felt like you were waiting but you didn't know what you were waiting for? Never really been sure what that was about. But like, there's times in my life where I feel like I'm waiting for something and I really don't know what it is. Just sitting up here waiting. You know what I'm saying? And you know, but I want everybody to know that, like, hey man, I am good. I am great. I'm healthy for the most part. I got stomach issues that may become problematic here in the near future. They could cause me to have health problems, but my skin still glows. I'm still able to hold a intelligent conversation with somebody. And but I'm just waiting, not sure what am I waiting for. I don't know, but like everything inside of me tells me that I'm waiting for something to happen, and it just hasn't happened yet. Right? Like, I walk in circles, I go look out the window, I walk down the street, and everything I'm doing, I'm just waiting. Right? I don't know why, Jerry. That's a good question, bro. That is a very good question, man. I think the world ain't intelligent no more because, now this might sound a little bit schizo, so let me just get that out the way right now. This may sound crazy, so I just want to acknowledge it before I even say it. I think they've been kidnapping people and replacing them with clones. That's why everybody acts so fucking weird. And then the motherfuckers who ain't been replaced is something to do with that pandemic shot. That's as deep as I can get into it, right? I don't really know, bro. It's a wild world, bro. It's wild, man. Politically wise, it was easier to dumb down the education system versus trying to make it more sustainable for a better future, because then that controls people better. Absolutely. Hey Melanie, I just want to tell you, don't just pack out everybody, because I sometimes, depending on, let me tell you, if I want people kicked, I don't just be just wanting to see people go, because I just I don't care about you being a moderator, but don't just kick everybody. Just kind of just check with me first, because there's been times when the other moderators kick people and I didn't even want them to go. Yeah, I know, but he's actually someone that I've dealt with before. That's just what he says. I really don't know why, but I don't care about that person. But I'm just saying, just I don't. I just wanted to say that, but that's all, man. I got 3 moderators, and sometimes I had 2 working in tandem in the same chat, and boy, my views went to 0 because of it, and they still ain't recovered. you know. But anyways, I'm about to get off here. Anyways, man, I'm done. I'm kind of like not tired, but I'm just exhausted, man. I've been up since this morning and shit. I might go do some gaming for a little while and let y'all see how garbage at GTA 5 I am. But my internet's been working a little bit better than usual, so I feel like going and playing a video game for a little while. My back hurts actually from sitting in this position that I'm sitting in. You feel me? But Yeah, I don't mind Buttercup. That Buttercup is funny to me for the simple fact that like there's this guy in prison, my neighbor. He used to call everybody Buttercup, but he was an old man, right? And I was just like, this dude's got to be like had his prime in the 50s and the 60s because Buttercup is like that's like some super duper old school shit. Well, he won't make it back in here tonight because I ain't going another 30 minutes, man. I'm kind of exhausted. I miss being able to play my video games, but I'm in the process. Yeah, my PlayStation Plus ends next month, so I won't be gaming for very much longer. Um, cause I can't afford to pay it right now. I'm struggling to pay my phone bill, man. I didn't started a GoFundMe, but I'm not gonna tell you guys where to find it. But just know I got one out there, and I ain't collected a dime from anybody, so I don't even feel guilty that I created it, cause I ain't get nothing from it. But I already knew I wasn't gonna get nothing from it, cause when I first started this YouTube, people used to come in the chat and tell me that I ain't got nothing coming, I'm cooked. And I believed them, right? Because I know it's these cult people and they be giving me little hints of advice. And when they told me I was cooked, I knew he wasn't bullshitting. So, it just messed up when you go to the GoFundMe. You go to the GoFundMe page, right? And they got other people with GoFundMe's, and it'll say like Jimmy has 7,585,000 out of 10,000 already earned, and then you'll see the next one, motherfucker got a $5,000 GoFundMe, and he's already got like 1,100, right? And all I was trying to do was get my car fixed and pay my damn rent so I wouldn't lose my apartment, right? And they still wasn't fucking with me, man. Hey, it sounds like a plan. Hey, yeah, man, for real. That's what I want to do, man. Is build my own place, man. I'm getting older, but I ain't old enough to where I can't build some shit right before I leave. I'm at that age where I can put a bunch of shit together and just leave it behind for my kids, right? I'm not at the age where I can't put nothing together, right? I'm only in my mid 40s, man. I got minor ailments, nothing major. I can build a bunch of shit and I could just leave it, you know. Well, I'm glad you don't know about it. Because if you don't know about it, then that's how you go about it. And we'll settle it with that.